And welcome back to the channel and to this, the showcase finally of the new Webstore and page and all the rest of it. We are going to just crack on. Yes, this has ended up being a bit further behind than the initial stream clip of it, but it's between doing the course and other bits and everything, it's just I had to find the time, and I wanted to get as much of it to the point where I was happy before doing this for obvious reasons. We will look at the shop in a little bit, but this is just the general homepage. This has all been using Payhip, by the way. And then I will note that none of this is clickable. It's just here as a little bit of a description. And there is going to be another section to come, but this was the priority, and the other section is just going to be a little bit extra to flesh it out. And then down here you can pause if you want to have a little read of that. Then you've got the little few of the social icons down in the bottom in the footer. But then if we move on to books, we have Athalas. I did opt to start Athalas with the map in, then have the detail, because I was worried if you just have the text and then image and after image you'd just get a bit so have the map first, then this, then a nice little bit of a gallery. And eventually I am planning on adding another section dedicated to like world building and things like that, but for the time being this is the main part. I wanted to get the ball rolling before going into those elements, but that is going to be coming. So here we have Athalas. We've got a nice little gallery of the 3 front covers and then a few extra images. You've got the background of the first front cover, you've got the back cover of the first book, I should say. Then you've got a little picture that I stuck up on the Ko-fi with the original front covers of Liberation of Destinal and Assault on Athalas. And I do want to note that whilst they are not up on the store yet, right now the store is just ebook related, there are still copies of the original cover physically available, and I will be moving on to adding them onto the store, but for now if you want them they are available on the Ko-fi page, and the same goes for Code of Chivalry. And then you have a nice little map here, not set at the time of the books, this is set at the time of when I've been doing the world building and the lore, and it's a more highlight of the different political, the geopolitics basically of Athalas, with the different factions colour coded and things. A couple of examples is you've got the Kirin Drek up there in blue, you've got the Medeiros half ogres there in the sort of almost turquoisey kind of colour, and then you've got some here, like you've got the yellow in there, Rovlaror. Yes, some of the map images are a bit depending on the scale and the size. Moving on, going to cover the standalone and give a brief explanation. I've clumped the standalones together instead of just giving Code of Chivalry its own separate thing, because the standalones, whilst they are separate stories, and I do fully intend for that, they do have an underlying pattern that they follow in terms of the genre, not in terms of like, oh, it's just the same formula of the story over and over again. No, the stories are different, but the pattern is the pattern of them being set in a historical period, having a philosophical undertone. Those sort of themes are consistent throughout, so that is why they've all been combined together. Got a nice little read there, got the little brief add-in of Code of Chivalry. I am probably going to add a little bit more at this at some stage, and then little detail of what's going to be coming next, which is a Napoleonic standalone. Again, historical fiction, but grounded. Then we move on to Soul of the Gem. Nice little just detail about hinting at where the powers come from without spoiling too much. Because I have to say, that's one of the things about doing these dedicated pages. They have been interesting and they have been useful, but it's also been, what can I put on them without delivering spoilers? And then moving on to a bit more of a specific section, we have a dedicated Dyspraxia page. I say dedicated, it's not the most fleshed out of things, but then it's not meant to be. There are many advocates out there who have gone into a lot of detail. What I see my role as with the content I do is not so much to go into the same length of depth that these other individuals do, but is to almost utilize my platform in a way that can draw attention so that people can then go on and do further research. So almost like a stepping stone. So here, I mean, starting off immediately, you've got a little covering of the basics, and then a little list of areas it can affect, color coded with the white being challenges and the sort of orange being strengths. Some of them, like memory and all of that, can get a bit of both. And I put sensory as a strength and a challenge because, yes, sensory overload is very much a thing for people with dyspraxia, but in terms of if someone's calling for help or something, having heightened hearing and things like that, or more acute hearing, actually does come in quite handy at being able to pick up on things like that. Then you've got some misconceptions. Again, like the aspects, it's not all of the misconceptions, it's just some of the most notable ones. And then shared a little story here. This story is available over on the Ko-fi. I have not put it on the store yet. I might do, or I might not. I'm still umming and ahhing about that, but it is still available, so if those would like to have a little read of my story and some of the inspiration. And then we've got another little section here over the creative podcast. Got a nice little detailing with the new, well, I say the new background thumbnail. Unfortunately, because of the way the aspect ratio works on this, some images end up being a bit too zoomed in, and unfortunately this was one of them. But still get the main gist of it and everything. Then you've got a list of some of the guests. This list is going to be getting added to, but some of the guests are still working on the details that they want to add in. But for now, we've got Mr. Z, who was in the first episode. We've got Daniel, got Amelia, got Ness. Wait, no, that's gone the wrong way. There we go. And then you've got the first pairing of guests in terms of Rob and Rowan. So got a nice little list already working on there. Now there is a bit of faded text here. I am just going to say straight away that's something I'm going to be removing before this gets, well, between now and when this video is uploaded, that bit will be removed for now. It is going to be returning once I've settled on what I want to do for it, but it's a bit that I just slightly forgot to remove just before this. So yeah, by the time this video is up and the page and the shop are actually published, that bit will be gone. So got a nice little detailing here of the podcast, and then got little contact bit, I decided to actually use the actual video I did about showcasing the social pages for this bit, instead of just sticking up a load of text to make it a little bit more interactive. And then a very simple, I haven't done anything with this bit except change the background colour. The rest of this is a template of Payhip. But then if we go back to the center and then go on to the shop, this is the current layout. Right, I am going to establish straight off the bat, all of these, as I said before, are the ebook versions. They are all PDF format. And yes, Assault on Athalas and Path of Shah are both out, and they will be getting added onto the store probably throughout the following week. But seeing as that story is chronological and you need to read Liberation to understand what's going on in Assault and Path of Shah, it made sense to have this one up as the first one and then bring the others into it to effectively try and prevent some confusion, hopefully. And if we just click on each of them, they each have their own little detailed bit. Few different images. I do again apologise that the map is a little bit blurry, but these images do what they need to do. There are more in-depth showings of the maps elsewhere, and once I can get a proper one, I am tempted to fully release a bit of map merchandise at some point, but that will require ensuring. I mean, look, even in this one you can get a better view because it was zoomed in, but trying to get the wide picture often means that some of it ends up being blurry. And yes, might seem a bit weird to have this lore video as one of them. It makes more sense considering that Tonreef plays a role in the first book, so it makes a bit of sense to add him in. Then code. Some of them vary. I've got videos on a few of them. I mean, that is one of the oldest videos on the channel. And philosophy's there with a bit of an unflattering image of me. I apologise. And then bringing it up again, we've got Soul with the image, and then the little announcement one. I'm probably going to add the other. I think it's already tagged in there, but there is a couple of other Soul of the Gem bits of content on there as well. But we go back and you see this, and I will say that on an actual purchasing front, providing I've set it up correctly, which I think I have, the options for payment right now are PayPal or usual debit credit card. So quite simple, but they're the ones that I've been working with, so keeping it that way. And the difference between this and Ko-fi, if I remember correctly, is that you don't need to jump through the hoops of setting up your own page to be able to interact and purchase other creators' stuff. You can just come in here, check out the different areas, pick up one of the ebooks if you wish, and then just mosey on. And yes, I am a bit frustrated that I couldn't tag the Ko-fi in there, because over on the Ko-fi page, the other thing about it is that there are tips set up, and there are membership set up as well. And whilst this is about the Payhip, one of the things I will mention about the Ko-fi membership is that at the level 2 and the level 3 memberships, you can, if you so wish, have a character put into the Athalas world building, and a character who will be completely canon to the world building, with a couple of ground rules like don't blow up the world and things like that, and obviously having to obey to the creatures that already exist in the world. But a little bit of like just interaction there. But yes, that is what I have to say. Again, it's not published yet. It will get published before this video is out, and it will also get a short that will be posted on a few things. This video will get posted on a few things, basically try to spread spread the wings of it as much as possible, and the link will also be in the description. So yes, please do check it out, please do share with it, because this has taken some work to put together, and obviously there is going to be more. I do want to completely establish and clarify the Ko-fi page is not going anywhere. This is an addition, not a replacement. So the Ko-fi is staying, and now we also have this Payhip up here as well. So I hope you do enjoy. I hope you enjoy the ebooks, and again, if you want to hold fire and wait until the full trilogy is out, by all means, that is absolutely fine. I will say that the pricing on here is a bit different to Ko-fi, but that's just to... It's not a massive difference. It's like... what is it? I think I've changed it each by about 50p, and the main reason for that is just to try and counteract the fact that this is a new platform. It's got transaction fees and things like that, so it's just a little bit of tweaking here and there, and I might change the Ko-fi ones up to match it anyway. So however, for now, that is all I have to say, apart from the fact that we have got a bit of a special video, or not, special's the wrong term, different. It's a different video, and I'm actually going to be doing part 2 of it on the stream today. A bit of a ranking of factions in one of the things I've been streaming, and has had a couple of shorts put on the YouTube. So, but I'm not going to drag this on any longer. This has been the showcase. I hope I have covered everything. I hope I have not forgotten to cover everything. And again, there are going to be other sections added. There will be a world building section. There will be something I want to do in the podcast bit is add in a few of the quotes that stand out to me from the guests in the episodes. I don't know how much more is actually going to get added to the Dyspraxia section, because again, it's there for awareness purposes. It's not there to necessarily drag away from everything else. I have got Dyspraxia. Dyspraxia has been a surprisingly big part of this, and yes, I've slowly been trying to throw in some awareness and advocacy on the platforms, and I wasn't going to make this an exception to that, so that's why that exists. I am also going to say one more thing, that outside of the Dyspraxia, this is more book and slightly podcast focused, which is why there's no real mention of the Twitch. The Twitch is more tied to the Ko-fi, and hopefully at some point becomes its own thing as well. So that's a separate entity, but I do still make a mention of it here. So it is still mentioned, even if it is not a focus. But that is all I'm going to say on this part. And until next time, please do comment, like, and subscribe. Please do absolutely share this out, as I am going to be trying to hit every single platform I can with it, in terms of my own accounts and stuff to try and just share and share and share. And again, comment, like, subscribe. Already said that bit. The rest of the socials are going to be on the next ending page, so I'm not going to go over all of them. And welcome to the Kingdom of Athalas and the world of Fellow Mind books. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you would like to see some similar content to this one, you can click there. Or if you would like to change around and have an explore of some of the other content, then you can check out the link below, which will be to a playlist. And if you would like to check out the content on other pages or socials, or if you would like to explore some of the other elements in detail, or pick up a book or whatever, or come and chat to me on Twitch when I'm alive, then down there. And as you can see, it has a list of what to expect on each of those platforms. And until next time, welcome to the Kingdom of Athalas, the world of Fellow Mind books. Please do like, please do subscribe, and if you want to, pop out a comment.